Oh man.
What are your favorite mainstream horror movies in the last 10 years?
All right. Anthony?
That was quite a segment. I was just like looking at a spider or some shit. What's happening, everybody? How you doing?
Doing good.
Killer show, man. I'm enjoying it. Nice to meet you, by the way. Good to see you.
Nice to meet you, man. Man, I did this show hoping to meet you, actually.
Oh, badass, dude.
Danny, Kevin, they're cool, but you're much cooler than me.
I don't know. That's a level of coolness I hope to achieve. I gotta say,
Danny, you're fired.
Yes.
Sorry, I own the name to the show.
Anthony, your name is Danny now.
I've officially seen it all. I have not had the pleasure of reading your work yet, but you had me at salty old fuck.
That usually pulls them in. It pulls them right back in.
I'm in trouble. So
your description of The Last Starfighter on the last show, or maybe it was a couple shows ago that you did, man, the way you talked about that film was such grandiose, man. It made me feel like I was fucking 15 again.
Man.
It was awesome.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I was like, it's funny because like after like I do a segment, I'm not an actor or anything, but like I feel like it's similar to like somebody on stage, like they know if they do well or not. And that last segment, I was a little rushed because I was concurrently working. So it's nice to get that kind of feedback. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. No worries. No worries.
Thank you.
You have a love of film, man, that I have and nobody ever wants to fucking listen to. You make it enjoyable.
Well, you're in Georgia, right?
Yeah.
I'm in Georgia.
Where are you at?
I'm like 25 minutes north of Atlanta. I'm in Woodstock.
Okay, fucking Woodstock. Foxtail Books, man. That's my home base.
Oh, nice. Right on. Okay. Well, what part of Georgia?
We'll be drinking at some point. I am in Grovetown, man. So I'm in East Georgia, like on the line with South Carolina. So I'm about 2 hours away from you.
Right on.
But I'm gonna have to come down and visit you guys, man.
I take road trips, so I'll let you know.
I'm in, man. Yeah.
Especially when the world opens up and all that.
Danny, you're more than welcome to join us, man. You are more than welcome.
Well, he was here recently with a layover that almost threatened to be like a day or whatever.
You were laid over at the Atlanta airport.
Spirit Airlines.
Oh, dude, never again, man.
That's like everything horrible in life connected to one particular instance, man. Stuck in the airport on Spirit Airlines.
It was more of a bend over than a layover.
Oh, I've been in a lot of airports, man. That one right there is probably the worst ever, man. It's fucking awful.
It was crazy.
I gotta say, this is the longest introduction or kind of hangout before on any segment I've done with the movies, and because I don't have any current movies on VHS, because it's a video store right here, or DVD, unfortunately. These are newer films in the last decade. So I've got my little list right here. Boom. I'm going to be my little cheat sheet, if you will. So the first badass there you go. She never disappoints. First badass mainstream movie in the last decade, in my opinion, is Cabin in the Woods. Now, this movie, I'm going to try to make it spoiler free because there are probably a handful of people who still have not seen it, even though it was wildly successful. This is a movie that takes the cliche tropes of a horror film of teenagers going into the woods, a cabin, and then it yanks it and smashes it on its ear. And I thought it was actually pretty well done, and it was nice that Hollywood greenlit a movie like this. I think it was about time. It's probably 50 years too late, but regardless. Great movie. That's one of my first lists. So there you go. Boom. On to the next. I got 9 to 10 more. So here we go.
I think I saw that one.
Really? How about you, Kevin? Anybody? Brian?
That's not Eli Roth, is it?
It's not. I think it's Drew Goddard. And I think cover your ears because he's being canceled right now. Joss Whedon produced it. Yeah, but it's a fucking awesome movie, dude. Actually, it's pretty hilarious. And in fact, when I was watching it, I started kicking myself internally. I'm like, why the fuck didn't I write this? Like, yeah. So, like, I'm sure Brian and Danny, of course, and I know Kevin, you write as well. You're a comedian. Hello. When you see something that you respect, you're like, damn it. I wish it was mine.
I call those my throw across the room books. When I read something it's so good that it pisses me off, I wish I'd have thought of it first. I chuck that bastard across the room. They're all my shit's dented up for that reason.
Yeah, that's 100%. Yeah, and in fact, you beat yourself up like
right.
Yeah.
You know what though? I mean, as creative as we all are, I mean, we're always coming up with new ideas anyway. So I'm not too worried. But there's some of those that I'm like but then I'm usually like I could have done it better.
Well, yeah. We can all put our spin.
We're all egotistical fucks too.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have to have a certain amount of megalomania in order to do this anyway. So
yeah,
for sure.
Like The Prestige, I would have re-edited that, and it would have been 10 times better.
I don't think I've ever finished that movie
because I didn't edit it. That's why.
No, there was 2 movies that came out around the same time: The Prestige and another one that was kind of similar.
The Illusionist.
Was that what it was?
Ed Norton.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ed Norton. Yep.
Yeah. And it was
Jessica Biel.
Far superior film, man. I thought they were both great, but it seems like that happens a lot. One will come out, like a big tentpole movie will come out, and another one will come along either before or after. Trying to like get in on that market or whatever. And with those two,
we nerded out with Deep Impact and Armageddon. It was
exactly.
It was a fun orgy of sorts. All right, so we're gonna go on to the next one, number 2. I'm gonna go over here. Boom. Now this one over there is actually part of the mumblecore indie movement that Hollywood kind of like started embracing. And if you want to go into mumblecore in terms of definitions, Wikipedia, it's too long to explain. It's just more indie, new scene. But this is a home invasion take. I want to say it kind of predates The Purge, but it's effective as fuck.
Yeah, I think it does. I think it predates it.
Yeah, it's effective as fuck. And it takes a minute to get going, but once it does, it really kind of surprises you. A couple scenes are questionable, and I don't want to give too much away, but it was badass women before Hollywood was like, oh my gosh, badass women. It was just like, no, this is just some chick who's awesome. Check it out. It wasn't like forced, because I think Hollywood gets a little too business first and then artistic side later, Well, it's a commentary here, but I think your next is more pure.
A hot topic happens, and then all of a sudden everybody's like beating you over the head with it. Right?
Yeah, this is more organic.
Right.
Yeah, and it was handled well, and it was just like awesome. It wasn't just like, oh no, we have to do this. We have to check these marks. It's a fucking good movie. So check it out. I'm all for it, and that's my number 2.
Nice.
Next one, here's the deal. I keep doing this because I know a JPEG is going to pop up, and everything's backwards for me.
No, but you know what? She's got it. She's got it down, man.
She has it down. I don't have it down. She has it down. Okay?
No, but you don't even have to move now. She's got it down.
I know it's PTS from fucking the other 10.
I know from the early, the early ones we were like ducking under, like trying to.
All right. You can't fuck with The Conjuring. You can't. I mean, some people say fuck that movie, but I say you can't fuck with it. James Wan, I gotta say, not only one of the most prolific filmmakers of the last 20 years. This guy created fucking Saw. Okay, he created the franchise, but he created the first. He started the first one, and then he produced the rest, or some of the others. And then he went on to Insidious. So he brought that franchise out,
dude. That franchise.
I love that fucking movie, man. Insidious was amazing. The first one was outstanding,
dude. For PG-13 horror, I was like, man, I'm in the right hands with this dude. And he also did a couple other films that were largely unseen. One is Death Sentence with Kevin Bacon. It's a revenge film, vigilante film, kind of a death wish, if you will. And then he also did Dead Silence. Oddly enough, Donnie Wahlberg's in it, and it's a puppet film, as you can imagine, because he loves puppets. In any film he does, he usually peppers a puppet, whether it's Jigsaw or Billy Puppet, I should say, from Saw, on the tricycle, or he just loves his props. But anyway, The Conjuring is based off, I think it's Ed and Lorraine Warren, demonologists.
Yes.
And it's based off their chronicles. And they're basically paranormal investigators. Yeah. And I gotta say, man, The Conjuring nailed it. And aside from, God bless, the spelling of The Conjuring down there, it's a perfect film. I'm sorry.
No, I'm
totally that guy. I'm like, hey, and I almost see.
That was the French version of the film, Conjuring.
It's a greeting. It's conjure.
I'm gonna get beat up later digitally from Susan.
Are you going to see The Conjure?
But anyway, no, it's very well made. It's very well made. It's a kind of a homage to Poltergeist for sure. And it's, if you haven't seen it, it's totally badass in my opinion. And it spins off a universe. You know, it's got the Nun, it's got the Annabelle series. There's another one. I think what is it? Not Slender Man, but there's another character I think in Conjuring 2 possibly that they're trying to spin off. So there's like a massive universe. Oh, Slender Man.
Conjuring 2. The Conjuring 2 is on Netflix right now.
I appreciated it. Didn't love it. I appreciated it. I thought some of the shots were very well done, and I know that they really tried, and I think it was okay. Wasn't my favorite, but
it's hard to do a sequel of a movie like that. It really is.
No, he's a super talented filmmaker for sure. But let's move on. So, because I'm on number 4, so I don't want to keep you up. We're gonna change our pajamas.
Go for it.
It Follows. Okay, this is basically an STD ghost horror. Okay. And if I want to be less, it's more of an STI ghost horror. You're infected, okay?
Or STA, sexually transmitted apparition.
we got a comment here. It is a bit creepy. Alexis commenting, STI ghost horror. Chuck Hall over there. I see that comment. Nice work.
Actually, I think I caught that from one of my ex-girlfriends.
So have any of you seen this one?
No,
I've seen it. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So it's kind of art house, right? And it's actually well made. And for a moment, I couldn't tell what decade it was set in. It looked more 80s, but it was like there was no cell phones necessarily, if I can recall. I'm going back to 2014 here. But anyway, basically, it's about I think it opens up with a dude who has sex with a chick, and then once he's done, he's like, "Hey, just to let you know, there's a ghost that's going to follow you until it catches you." And when it does, it's going to kill you. So you need to fuck this ghost off. And then it's going to be their problem. And see you later. And then they're gone. Okay. And literally, that's the premise of the movie. You're like, oh shit, this is kind of gangster, dude. Why didn't I think of that?
It was definitely written by a mom with a slut daughter.
Dude, not cool. See, that's some PR right there. It's at the end of the day, it's a well-made film. It's kind of art house, as I said. Is it great? No. Is it kind of interesting and watchable? Yes. And is it original? 100%. So
you know what I loved about it? You know what I loved about it is that the ghost would walk slowly toward them in a body. It'd just be some random person, and it would be walking toward them slowly, and they would see it from across a field, and it would just be walking. They go, "Oh shit, that's it," and they'd have to run. But the thing didn't run; it just kept coming slowly. It was that made it to me. That made it. I'm gonna get you no matter how fast you.
Hold on a second. So you had to fuck the ghost to get the ghost?
No,
you had a ghost curse, so you had to get rid of the curse by spreading it to another. So it's a transmitted curse. So once you have sex with whomever, and I think, spoiler alert, I think some dude hooks up with a hooker who has the curse, then he hooks up with his wife. And I'm like, why did I write that shit?
Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
So something like that.
But imagine a sexually transmitted disease that kills you, but it doesn't kill you as long as you pass on that disease to someone else.
Yeah, I mean,
that's pretty much what it is.
Groundbreaking. I mean, if chlamydia would love to get on that action.
Simple and genius at the same time, man.
Yeah.
You know, like how come we didn't get this movie until now? Why didn't anybody think of that genius idea 40 years ago? You know,
I actually want to see. I do want a sequel. I want a sequel where it starts out like, in America, and somebody transmits the ghost disease, and then somebody goes on like vacation to Thailand. And they're like, I'm going to hang here for a month. This is great, blah, blah, blah. But then the ghost goes through the ocean just slowly. And then it comes up on land. And then maybe eats some fly infested fish, and then it gets the person. I got nothing. I don't know. But anyway, so that's the movie.
No.
I recommend
I
it.
see the opening scene. The guy's itching his balls on the subway, making all kinds of faces.
Kevin,
I'm with
The rest is just details.
Anthony sold it to me with fly infested fish, man. Because who the fuck doesn't want one of those?
hey, this is part of the environment. It happens.
Fish on ride, bro. That's some good stuff, man.
I wanted to go through go into a town of shepherds with sheep, and the ghost starts chasing the sheep.
I'm going to deviate.
This calls back to your Catholic upbringing right here, man.
I'm right there with you. I went to a Baptist school, a rigid one. And they took my creative writing shit, and they're like, dude, you cannot do this. I'm going to turn this into a therapy session. But they're like, you can't do this. This is wrong. This is of the devil. I'm like, you told me I'm going to burn in hell with the worm when I was 6 years old. What do you fucking expect? Pardon my language. All right, moving forward.
Right.
By the way, I got to tell you, since I brought up Thailand, I'm going to totally deviate. There's a movie called No Escape. It's a few years old with Owen Wilson and Pierce Brosnan. And they go to Thailand, and all of a sudden there's like a, outbreak, like a coup, whatever the fuck. They're taking over the fucking area. It's pretty fucking intense. Watch that one. No Escape. I think 2016 or 17. Pretty fucking good. I was like, holy dude, my lady was like gripping the fucking seat chairs. I was like, yes, I just want to know it's a good movie.
I feel like Owen Wilson would take me out of any movie.
Not this one. Well, because he's a comedy guy.
Yeah,
well, because he's the same person in every movie.
He can, not necessarily, man. The guy can pull it off when he wants to.
Don't get me wrong. I love the guy, but it was like, I guess too many Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson movies together just kind of messed me up.
Look at him as a fish out of water in Thailand, and they want to get him because he's a fish out of water, and he's a straight guy. He's just like, I want to protect my family at the end. So,
all right,
deviating. All right, so here we are. Number 5, The Babadook. This
loved
movie
it.
Fucked up.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, it's I believe an Australian director, Jennifer Kent, right there actually on the poster. And there's a book in the film that's a prop, and it's it's kind of a fairy tale thing, if you will. And they only released, I think, a few hundred of these books, I think in 2015, but it took so many years to finally get that I finally got my Babadook book.
Oh wow!
Okay?
Oh,
and it's a pop-up, so I don't want to spoil anything, but it's intense, dude.
Holy shit!
It's literally
dude.
Yeah.
No, don't read it. I don't want the Babadook to come on.
Well, you'll see it. It's a prop in the film.
I know.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
So you have seen the film?
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm just whetting the appetites of the viewers who may not have seen it.
It's epic. It really is good.
All right, I'm gonna make this go quick because I know I'm like lagging here. Don't Breathe is the next one from 2016. In 2016, I had 2 favorite mainstream horror films. Don't Breathe is done by Fede Alvarez, I believe. He was the director of the remake of Evil Dead. So it was a Sam Raimi's kind of protege. He teamed up with this talented dude. And say what you will about the Evil Dead remake, I thought it was actually pretty fucking okay. Don't Breathe is dope as shit. It's great. It's literally, as an audience member, you feel the title like almost 2/3 of the film. Okay, so kids break into a house to steal a bunch of money from a blind guy, but he happens to be like this badass veteran. And now they're like the mice and he's the cat, and they can't get out of his house because it's all locked up. In fact, this movie takes notes. Then you go to his basement. Have you seen Alexa? Alexa, have you seen this film? Clearly you have.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Shut up, Alexa.
Shut up, Alexa.
By the way, just for everybody who's watching the show, if you stay until the end of this segment, we're going to bring on our producer, Susanna, and we're going to bring Alexa back, and we're going to bring Chuck back. We're going to have a little party. But there's a lot of stories because they all know Brian. So, well, Susanna and Alexa do. So go ahead.
So Don't Breathe stars Stephen Lang. And this guy's had a crazy career. You might remember him as the crazy drunk from fucking Tombstone. That guy he stole the show of Tombstone, aside from obviously many others, as the villain. But yeah, he's the blind guy in Don't Breathe. And it's funny because like this movie has a fine line. Like you care about the robbers, the burglars who are coming into his house because they have their own situations in life where they got to like escape, but they need money. So they go into this old Coots house, so on and so forth. But like they're taking advantage of him. So he's just trying to protect his house. But he's so fucking hardcore that you're like, you just don't know where to fucking put your eggs, which basket, which is great. So anyway, there's a sequel coming out, I think in August of 2021. So I can't fucking wait. Don't Breathe, badass movie. On to the next. Lights Out, perfect film, in my opinion, for mainstream horror. Now, I got to say, this James Wan, who did The Conjuring, Saw, Insidious, he found this short on YouTube called Lights Out.
The short was way better, dude. I'm sorry. I was disappointed by the movie because the short, and when the short came out, I actually reached out to the filmmaker and we had a dialogue going, and then I lost contact with him. But that short was incredible.
So it's perfect. I mean, there's no fat on it. It's perfect because you understand exactly what it is in like a minute and a half. Lean and mean.
Yeah. Personally, I felt like they did too much with the story in the big movie. I know you like but
no, you're not wrong if that's how you feel. So
yeah,
cool.
But sorry, go ahead.
It's not a perfect film, but like it's in my opinion fucking enjoyable. In terms of mainstream horror, like I can have 20 segments on indie horror, but I'm a fan of Lights Out. I think it was effective, especially. I love seeing somebody's like seedling of an idea and then like Hollywood support, or just like monetary support.
That was amazing.
Yeah, to invest. It's really kind of it's because you're literally seeing it from an idea to something that was shot very cheaply to like believed in monetarily, which I hate to say in this day and age is kind of everything. Although just having somebody say, you know what, your work's great is all you need is in terms of the wind in your sail, but to keep going. But we all
totally
gotta keep the roof over our head. So
yeah.
Anyway, I love the fucking movie. I think it's well done for the concept for the gimmick, dare I say, that it plays. And it's James Wan produced it, and I'm not surprised he's behind it. But I love that this segment is taking me to the next segment. Annabelle Creation, same director, David F. Sandberg. This is the guy you were talking about. Danny.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna get it, Danny. One of these days. It's like Afterburner. It's like the video game Afterburner. Everything's opposite. So Annabelle Creation is basically it's a spinoff of the Conjuring universe. Before Annabelle Creation, there was just Annabelle, and this is the cursed doll. Initially, in real life, Ed and Lorraine Warren had the Raggedy Ann doll, but Raggedy Ann's not going to really fucking fuck with people, right? So they did it up and gave it Annabelle, gave it the look. The long story short, the first Annabelle fucking sucked in my opinion. I thought the production design was fucking beautiful, and some of the actors were very okay. But this movie, they throw everything in the kitchen sink at the orphanage girls, and they don't let up. They just keep throwing it at boom, 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 boom. So has anybody seen these films?
I haven't seen this one, no.
But I haven't seen this one, no.
Okay, check it out. Let's
Alexa
move on.
did.
Oh,
Alexa saw it.
Okay. I see everyone checking their phones. I'm like, fuck, I'm rambling. Shit.
Oh, no, I'm writing everything down that I haven't seen, dude.
Oh,
so
God bless
you. Looking down here, that's exactly what's going on.
I'm changing passwords.
Working out date night.
Oh, badass. Yeah, exactly. How you doing? Nice to meet you.
I can have serious conversations. Like I'm like a horror movie buff. Every one of these I've seen.
Oh, cool. So what do you think of real quick? We're probably gonna go 2 hours in length. What do you think? What do you think of Don't Breathe?
Don't Breathe was one of my favorites because you never saw the basement shit coming.
Fair enough.
Thank you for blocking that spoiler.
Yeah. No.
I get 15 years before I gotta know
basement.
what happens in the movie.
100%, Kev. 100%. Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't believe what Kevin has in his basement. Anyway.
Lights Out. What do you think of Lights Out?
Oh my God, Lights Out was amazing. Only because my husband thought the mom in there was hot. She's like dirty hot, like trailer park hot. Well,
it's not Monica Bellucci. It's Maria Bello.
Maria Bello. Yep.
Well, she's awesome.
Her.
She's badass. Yeah,
she is.
Yeah, that helps.
Teresa Palmer's hot too.
Who?
Teresa Palmer,
the main. Yeah. Fair. So Babadook, cool.
Babadook.
There you go. Spoiler.
I love that movie.
It Follows.
It Follows, man. Fucking creep me out. I made my kids watch that shit so they knew.
How old are your kids? How old are your kids? I gotta know. I have two young
11, 11, but it's not. You're never too young to learn.
Yeah,
right?
It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor.
Exactly.
You're like this. You're like, this is based on a true story.
You know what it is? Originally, what do you got, Brian? What do you got?
Alexa's telling her 10-year-old kid, "You're gonna get ghost dick if you don't watch this movie, or you're gonna get ghost dick."
Originally it was just religion creating sexual shame. Now it's just movies.
Any way we can get it.
Cool. We've arrived. We're modern.
We have arrived.
Yeah, we're progressive. Okay, moving forward. Okay, so Cabin in the Woods. I'm gonna just pick your brain real quick. Cabin in the Woods. What do you think?
Never saw it coming. Is this the one with the water? Oh wait, sorry, Kevin. Plug your ears. Is this the one with the body in the tank of water?
No.
Negative. Is that a cure for wellness?
No, that was creepy too, though.
All right, so you're next. How about you're next?
Oh God, you're next. Creepy, because it almost feels like it could really happen.
Oh, it's a home invasion movie. Yeah, 100%.
Exactly.
All right, home invasion movie, better or worse than Strangers?
Oh God,
I like
no.
Strangers.
The Strangers.
I did too.
That
movie
shit could
fucked
really
me up.
happen. That's Manson-esque. That shit could really happen. Has happened.
Home invasion, I think, is one of the scariest possible
Me
things.
too,
because
Brian.
it's a thing.
Most
I'm with
realistic.
you.
Right. And so that movie fucking stayed with me for months.
Me too. That's the only horror movie I will not let my kids watch.
I think it would have been scarier if it was the in-laws that invaded.
That's a fucking movie. That's a movie.
That happens in real life.
That is a movie right there. Danny, start writing it.
If somebody
Brian and I will
invades,
fill in the horror elements.
That's
Right?
what they
Like the mother and father, they hate the guy that their daughter married, and so they come in and invade and just like start slaughtering.
Oh, Danny, come on now. That's my everyday life.
I was gonna
Anybody-
say, that pretty much happens on a regular basis.
Yes,
doesn't
thank you,
it?
Danny.
anybody
I know.
tries to invade my house, I'm getting naked, smothering myself in Crisco, and what happens.
I'm kind of
Wow,
with you on that,
man.
Kevin.
They'll
sorry.
jump out. They jump out the window
Wait.
Okay, thanks for that visual. Let's move on.
on the sixth floor.
Susanna's like, hey, guess what, guys? Get out.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well,
2017, Jordan Peele, who is a genius, and it's
Yes,
funny
he is.
as I was watching Key and Peele over the years, I was like, who's like a horror fan in their writing staff? Because they're like nailing. It's like they weren't like overtly like, oh, horror, but certain
it's
things.
there. It's always there. Always.
Yeah, but certain things they would hit, I was like, oh shit, there's a horror fan in the writer's room. For sure, like they nailed it.
didn't he
Break
write us
Take the
too?
scissors and kill the white guy. Come on, man.
Yeah.
From the jump, they're telling you what they're into. You know?
Yeah, well, yeah. But like then just in terms of like horror history, like just certain things, I was like, oh, dude, they're horror fans. They're somewhere.
Yep.
And then it reared its head. It was Jordan Peele. He was the
Genius
biggest,
idea.
biggest horror fan of Key and Peele. And that's why he was trying to insert some of his like passions. And then he did Get Out, which is like a sledgehammer to like, hey, I'm gonna make a movie. Okay, cool. I mean, I think he did Keanu, which was fun. But I was like, first day.
Keanu was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it was fun. But and then he's like, boom, Get Out. Directorial, I think directorial debut.
I think so. Yeah.
And
I think you're right.
Am I the only guy in the room that thinks Us was a better film than Get Out?
I have not seen Us. I have not seen Us
fucked
yet.
up.
Okay,
That's the mental shit there.
because that's another one that stuck with me for
Don't
months
spoil
now.
too much.
No, I'm not going to say a word, man. But the damn movie would not leave me alone. It wouldn't let my brain beat.
That's effective then. That's
Right.
effective then. A movie like that you're explaining that did that to me was Mother with Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. The ending won't be coming, man.
For 2 weeks, I kept thinking about it. I'm like, there's so many people who hate this film, and there's so many people who like it. But
it
like,
was slow. But and that's got to be some kind of underlying mom shit there. You got some mommy issues, bud?
Dude,
no, I just think it's effective. Well, I went to a fucking Baptist school. It's a biblical allegory, So that's what the whole movie is. Spoiler alert again. But so a movie that stays with you, even if you hate it or love it, that's an effective film, right?
Yeah.
So it is something right.
I like that word.
Yeah. So Get Out is a fun, kick-ass social commentary, and then the third act, spoiler, it goes into kind of like the horror tropes, but that's the fun of it.
I didn't like the political underlinings of it, but that's just me being down here in the Bible Belt. I got different opinions. It doesn't matter, but it's still scary enough that it made me jump a few times.
Well, there you go. There you go.
And they fucked with the TSA, which makes me super happy, man. So, Danny, you can at least relate to that, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So the next one, we got A Quiet Place.
Oh,
right. Can't fuck with A Quiet Place.
They got a sequel.
That was great. Great movie.
We should do Ask Alexa.
It was the same. It was the
because
same.
We have a sequel coming. Yeah.
Right. It was the same as the Bird Box, though. It was the same movie as the Bird Box.
Bird Box was the same as A Quiet Place.
Love Bird Box.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
You just happened to see Bird Box before.
No. The Quiet. No, you're right. You're right. No, you're right. In fact, I think I made a post about it that I said the Bird Box. Wow, what a great sequel to The Quiet Place.
What's interesting is Bird Box, I understand, was a novel beforehand.
Right.
So I would like to understand. I would like to see what came first.
The novel had been out for many years before it became a movie.
Had no idea.
What's also interesting is, did John Krasinski read Bird Box and get another idea? Because this is one of the first, I think, in relative time, sensory films that kind of kicked off that craze. Quiet Place, Bird Box, so on and so forth, whatever.
The next one will be You Can't Smell Nothing. Don't smell nothing, or you're gonna be. The fucking this massive fart just takes out like.
Well, it's funny because I was reading.
Everybody's walking around talking like this because they can't breathe through their nose.
Ryan, it's the sequel to the flop.
Well, no, actually, it's funny. God, I'm trying to harken back. A friend of mine was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make a short film about farts," and it was called like a farty place.
Right.
Fart on, fart off.
Now it'll work now, man, because now it's parody of these other two films, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of parodies, I understand. They want to reboot Naked Gun with Liam Neeson.
Oh, you can't do it without what's that guy's name?
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen, thank you.
They got close. Liam Neeson.
Actually, Liam Neeson. I could see Liam Neeson kind of pulling it off.
I can, but
that's a funny guy.
No. The whole point is he's got to be straight.
Well, yeah, and Leslie Nielsen was a straight actor. He was a dramatic actor. That's why he killed it in Airplane. That's why he killed it in Naked Gun. But before that, he had a totally dramatic career beforehand. He was like a straight guy. That's why he was just playing a straight.
Trying to that movie would be like trying to get like Spinal Tap remade for me.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
It's already perfect, man.
The volume goes to 11.
Wait till they redo Jaws, even though they've been doing that for a few years now.
No, it can't be done because
Meg. What a terrible movie, Meg.
No Jaws.
Meg was terrible.
Oh, okay. We're going all over the map, and I love it. I saw Meg on the fucking airplane. I watched an hour of it, and I stopped. I was actually in a comfortable. Oddly enough, because I don't go business class, because hey, money, right? But I got bumped to business class. You didn't
take Spirit? What are you talking about, man?
Never again. Did it once.
Spirit's worth that, man.
So let's not get back into that, please. I have got PTSD. Can we move on?
I watched half of the Meg in a very comfortable seat on an airplane with very pleasant individuals around me, like 10 feet from me. I'm like, hey, how you doing? How's life? Good to see you. Hey. And I watched half of the Meg. It was so not engaging, I stopped. But it was from a recommendation of somebody I totally respect in terms of their movie views. And they're like, oh, you should have kept going because it gets great. But I'm like, an hour? An hour?
No, it doesn't get great.
It never gets great. And
I like all involved. It's just, I was like, fuck, I'm on an airplane. Like, everything is awesome to watch at this point. But I can't finish it.
Were you on Spirit?
No, fuck no. I'm Delta.
It would have cost him $35.
That's what the next horror film should be about. Spirit Airlines.
Yes.
I wouldn't even give them the time of day, but they should be given the time of day for forewarning. Brian, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, man, if you're watching a movie on Spirit Airlines, man, I promise you, it's on your own DVD player that they
No,
but
that you know what it is? If you bring your own DVD player, there's like a cork fee because you brought your own shit in there. Excuse me. Yeah.
Oh my God, Danny, I just realized Spirit Airlines is like the strip club of fucking airlines.
You got a brown bag DVD player.
You got to pay for it. There's like a 2-drink minimum, and you got to pay for everything. And if you come in with somebody else, there's an extra fee. And if you wear boots that shine, you got to pay extra fee. And
you know what, though?
You feel completely used and broke.
Right?
Dude.
But you know what? They're not that good. They're the go-go bar of the airlines.
Check it out.
You should have paid for the glare reduction, and you could have enjoyed the
glare
movie.
reduction. See, God, every time Kevin says something, I'm sorry. I'm a Kevin fan.
Me too, man.
I'm a Kevin fan. I'm not fucking with you either, dude. So I gotta say this though: if a Spirit Airlines film is ever done, there's got to be you mentioned it, 2-drink minimum, right? If somebody's like, no, 1 Coca-Cola is good enough, and they're like 2-drink minimum, there's got to be an undercarriage area where there's like chickens and shit that they actually get to go sit in if they don't adhere to that 2-drink minimum. Okay, because Spirit Airlines would have some shit like that. Like, okay, come with us. Excuse me, sir.
You drop through the seat into the coop, man.
That'd be too high tech for Spirit.
It'd be like a light.
There's like a pig.
Yeah.
There's like a pigsty.
Mixed with it. You gotta.
There's like a pigsty, and you drop into the mud.
All right, so
and you get to eat slop with the pigs.
Let's go back to a quiet place. Let's go back to a quiet place real quick.
All right.
So this movie, Bird Box aside, afterward, for me, it kind of came out of nowhere. And in terms of John Krasinski, I never watched The Office. Sorry, everybody. Never really watched The Office. And anything he ever did, I was kind of like, all right, just kind of a vanilla actor, whatever. Didn't do much for me. So, but this movie was intriguing enough to see. And then I saw it, and then I realized, oh, he directed it. Oh, and then I realized I believe he wrote it, or maybe co-wrote it. And then I realized, his wife's in it. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. Yeah, exactly. So as I started watching, so I got a little super chat in the corner, super chat with no money, that said they're married. Yes, that at least I know. But as I was watching the film, I'm like, oh, this movie's fucking effective as fuck. This guy's a really actually good director.
Yeah.
And I was totally engaged. And I'm like, I'm actually a John Krasinski fan. This guy fucking won me over, dude. His acting was solid. His fucking direction was badass. The movie was well made. And I can't wait for the fucking sequel. So I can't recommend this movie enough. I actually saw it 3 times in theater.
Yeah, it was good.
So,
Danny, what's the name of the Krasinski YouTube series podcast thing that he was doing?
Oh God, Good Day with I remember watching it.
Good News or something.
Yeah, Good News something.
Good News.
That's where that guy won me. I never watched The Office either, man. And I saw a couple episodes of Jack Ryan, and I was like, yeah, this really ain't my shit. And then he did that, and I was like, yeah, I think I dig this dude. And that is what brought me to watching The Quiet Place.
Dude, go watch him in 13 hours. He'll blow your mind.
I heard it was very good.
As someone who's always produced my own work and I've always produced my own shows, written my own stuff, I appreciate when someone comes out and he was a funny actor in The Office, but then he came out and he did what he needed to do. He said, I'm not going to wait around for people to cast me and stuff. I'm going to produce my own stuff. I'm going to write my own stuff.
Jack of all trades in the business, honestly.
Yep. That's exactly what I'm going toward, man. That's what I've always prepared for. So
people like that get my respect.
I can't wait for your movie, The Farty Place. Danny. Man.
It's
I'll help
the
I'll help
fog
you write it,
too.
man.
That's
I'll
what
help
it
you
is.
write it. I've got quite an extensive fart history.
Just
So-
feed me broccoli.
Technical director. All right. We have an honorary mention.
Okay.
Oh
And
God!
this may be blasphemy. This may be blasphemy that it's an honorary mention. Okay.
All right.
Is it effective
I
as fuck?
love her as an actress.
When
Jody
she
Collette?
turned the window, head out of the window is all I'm gonna say, and I'll leave it at that.
Worst.
So check it out. So I flew to Monroeville, Pennsylvania for the Dawn of the Dead 40th anniversary at the Monroeville Mall. Okay. This is in 2018. So I was in the mall where they shot Dawn of the Dead, which is like sacred ground for me.
Oh,
It's
well,
it's my
that
favorite
movie.
horror film of all time.
Mine too.
Oh, badass. Right on. So there was a moment where I had some time. I'm like, I'll go into the theater, which used to be the J.C. Penney's in that mall. So I watched Hereditary, and I'm seeing some chats here. You're right. So I went to the fucking theater, watched Hereditary solo style, and it was effective as fuck. Did I enjoy it?
No.
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 Did I think it was extremely well made? Yes, absolutely. The actors were fucking phenomenal. The story is very interesting. The problem I had with it is the next day I didn't think about it once, and the series of days after didn't think about it once, and I started getting kind of angry that I wasn't thinking about it because it was super fucking awesomely well made, and then I started reverting back to Mother. Sorry,
Talking about Hereditary, right?
yeah, and then I started thinking about how Mother affected me on this.
Same kind of level.
Yeah, where I was kind of thinking about it and decoding it and this and other. Mother's not a horror film, by the way. I mean, it can be.
I don't think so either, man. I don't think so either. I think it transcended the genre.
Yeah,
It did. And
It's a horror
Hereditary,
film.
the ending
Mother?
left me wanting.
It
Can be.
scared me. It scared me. It
Which one,
scared
Mother?
me. Mother. Yes.
Well, I
It
mean,
can be, in my opinion.
Yeah, I
Mother
mean,
scared
it's
me.
frightening, but at the same time, I think it transcended like horror and turned into something
did.
bigger than that.
It made
But-
me never ever want to move out in the country again.
Hereditary, though, if you think
Country,
about
no,
it,
that's just planet
the
Earth.
end,
Sorry.
well, the whole last maybe
No spoilers.
20 minutes left you
spoilers.
wanting. It left you. No spoilers. It just left you wanting. Like there was no linear ending. It was just all over the place at the end.
Left me wanting to leave.
Oh, quit.
Whoever's in the background should be a
Word.
regular guest. Yeah. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
That's my husband, Flip.
I still want my
What's up,
money
man?
back 3 years ago.
For Hereditary?
Yes.
Nah,
Yeah,
dude.
man.
The,
Like I said,
that was intense.
yeah, I mean, there's intense imagery and it's very well made. In fact, I actually have not yet seen Midsommar. Somar.
Bullshit.
Say no more.
It was terrible.
Fuck. Okay.
It was a horribly remade version of The Wicker Man.
Yes.
But once you see the original Wicker Man, then there's no sense in watching the remake of Wicker Man or Midsommar because it's all nonsense.
I'm going to agree with that assessment.
Fair enough.
I do like how Midsommar had this. Everything was not dark. Everything was very bright, and it was this. It was this. Like, it was a horror movie in the daylight, which was cool.
You nailed it.
Wasted that opportunity and with a shit story, right?
Yeah, I've said numerous times just in my life, like daylight horror. If you can pull that off, you pulled it off.
And
I can't believe
Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a great example of that.
This harkens back to what you were saying, Danny. Like I watched that movie. Me and my daughter, who's a fanatic horror movie fan, and we went and we were excited as fuck to see that movie, and we left thinking, wow, we could have written that so much better. There were so many ways
missed opportunities
good that they just didn't do. I don't know if it was because there was too many hands in the pot or what, but man, if that could have been our film to make, me and my 15-year-old, we would have destroyed the world with it. It was a incredible
Brian,
project.
this may be your new calling, dude.
Nah, I fuck Hollywood. Nope.
Well,
George is the new Hollywood.
Yeah, you don't need Hollywood to make a film. You don't need Hollywood
zeros in your account. You're like, okay, I'm going to help reshape Hollywood. I'm going to help reshape. Yeah. But I will say this. I think his name's Alex Wolff, the kid. I mean, Tony Collette was great. Gabriel Byrne. I mean, everybody was very good. But that kid, Alex Wolff, I think he was also in My Friend Dahmer, which was a totally random movie, which I actually enjoyed for what it was because it's such a turn-off subject matter.
Yeah, when you say in My Friend Dahmer, it sort of opens
Wait,
up
is Chuck
like
leaving? Is Chuck, we were going to bring Chuck in at the end. Is he leaving? Chuck, are you not leaving, are you? Oh, okay. I saw someone saying, by the way, I got to say this. Carrie Rappaport said a couple really funny, the Chris Conjuring, like Crisco, the Chris Conjuring, and Meg Ryan.
Chris Conjuring. Oh, wow. Carrie Rappaport came in. Yeah. What's up? Man, I love it. I love it.
The Meg Ryan.
This is our longest
That's a horror movie in itself now.
Yeah, thank you. I was just about to say that.
Dear God.
After plastic surgery.
That's what you get for fucking around on Dennis Quaid, the greatest fucking version of
Proof of Life.
Psychology of all time.
Yes.
Proof of Life.
Right?
Proof of cheating.
Proof of war.
Dude,
All right, so what do we got? How many more we got, buddy?
We got
22.
No, we got about 14 more.
That changed. All right, the one movie that changed horror for me
There's Chuck.
was
Hey, Chuck.
Scream.
Loved your segment.
Welcome back.
Hey, Chuck.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Very well.
So docile.
What a great show. Seriously, this has been amazing.
Hang on, man. Before we leave, Anthony, I want to ask you a question, Anthony.
Yeah,
what are your parameters on horror movie, man? Does it have to be gore? Does it have to be monster? Does it have to be
Brian?
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where's your parameter for suspense? Because there's a film that I watched that I consider a horror movie that I have showed multiple friends, and it has fucked up everybody I've ever showed it to. And for me, it's one of the scariest films I've ever fucking seen. We got to talk about Kevin. And have you ever seen this?
Are you fucking kidding me? I had a fucking shower after that one.
That fucking movie broke my brain in half. And I took that with me. I surfed you for months. And to me, that's a horror film at its highest height.
We need to talk about Kevin. Yes, that's the title of the film. That movie is so fucked up. I'm not kidding. I had a shower afterwards. It was probably my third shower of the day. I think I was hungover in the morning. I usually take extra showers. Regardless.
It seriously fucked my head up, man. I was like, this, because it's like we were talking about with home invasion. This is a thing that could possibly be real. This is not outside the scope of something that could happen to a normal family. And it is
the creepiest.
But man, it was so well made, so well acted. Ezra Miller was fucking phenomenal. Watching him as the Flash creeps me the fuck out because
Trip, dude, I haven't seen that yet. I had no idea.
Well, I'm just saying, man, the guy was incredible. That film was incredible. Tilda Swinton was incredible. That fucked my head up. I just want to say, would you call that a horror movie? Would you call that a drama or a suspense film?
It's all. But it's definitely a horror film, okay? Especially if you have kids. And even if you don't have kids, this is almost like birth control. I hate to say it, okay?
Right.
So
okay.
What was
just like the following.
So I think the premise, if I recall, because I saw it once, I'm like,
there was no supernatural element, Danny, is what I'm saying. Like, zero supernatural element. This is a thing that could possibly have happened.
Break down the premise, dude.
What?
Break down the premise, if you can, Brian.
Okay, so Tilda Swinton and her husband, who is played by, and I don't know the actor's name.
John C. Reilly, I think?
Yes, the guy who's known for Step Brothers, you know.
Tilda Swinton's a horror story in herself.
That I hate. But they have a baby, and it's a very painful situation for the mother. It's a painful pregnancy. She goes through some postmortem, but the kid from the beginning of the film, from an infant all the way through, is just vile. It's like The Good Son on steroids, man. No,
It's like Damien.
meth.
I could pull the good son right now. I could be like, here, it's like that.
Right.
Well, it's like Damien back in the 70s.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
She is seeing this fucking horror unfold, but nobody else can see it. And she's supposed to just accept it because it's her son. And then it just goes off the fucking rails.
Yeah, and John C. Reilly is like the good, nice dad. And I don't want to spoil anything, but you know, like, so you think like, oh, well, they're gonna have a relationship where like the kid's like great with the good dad, but like difficult with the mom. Let me just give you one example. The kid is like 8 years old, and she changes his diapers because he still needs to wear them. And after she changes his diapers, as he's walking around out of the room, he looks at her and goes and shits in his diapers, and then leaves the room.
Just
like he's controlling
to
everything.
be a controlling piece of shit, and it just it spirals into some shit that you just don't see coming, and it gets so horrible, and the ending is so bleak and dark. And Alexa, you've seen this movie, right?
Yep.
Okay.
We need to talk
I
about
saw
Kevin.
this movie years ago, and I still can't eat grapes.
Hereditary ain't got shit on this movie, dude.
Can't fucking do
I'll
it.
just say that.
On that note, we're at 2 hours now, guys.
Oh, we had so much fun.
I
We
know.
got two more minutes for 2 hours. We got 2 more minutes for 2 hours. So final thought.
All right. We got
If I may.
all right.
Might as well.
Well, we do still have 7 people watching. So
Thank you,
Yeah.
7 people.
6 of us are in the show.
right. Exactly.
No.
So you mentioned a movie with about Jeffrey Dahmer, right?
Yeah, my friend Dahmer, yeah.
Yeah. So years and years ago, Jeffrey Dahmer bought me a drink.
Tell me about this.
Okay. We may go over 2 hours. Let's
Fuck
do
out of
this.
here.
I got to know about this.
I used
What?
to go to Chicago. I used to go to Chicago every couple of weeks for business, and I was in a gay bar in Chicago, and my friends were getting up ready to leave, and this guy came and sat down, and he was kind of cute, so I started talking to him, and he asked if he could buy me a drink, and I said sure. So bartender comes over and gives me a drink, and he goes to the bathroom, and the bartender comes right over, and I knew the bartender pretty well. His name was Steve, and Steve said, "Oh my God, you don't want to talk to this guy. He's really creepy, and he freaks us all out." He said, "As a matter of fact, you want to go now because he follows people home." So when a bartender tells you something like that, you get your ass up and you go.
You get the fuck out.
Oh my God.
So I got my ass up and I went. And I'm coming through the airport maybe a couple months later, and I look up at the screen as I'm coming through, and I'm like, I think that's the guy.
Oh my
I go to the bar
God.
and I said to Steve, is that Jeff, the guy that I was talking to? And he's like, yeah, that's Jeffrey Dahmer.
Holy cow.
So yeah, that's my big Jeffrey Dahmer story.
Apparently,
I don't know if I can
Like anybody else has a Jeffrey Dahmer story.
him following you
You're like,
home
that's a
is,
big
is
Jeffrey Dahmer story. Like we all have Jeffrey Dahmer stories.
And everybody's like, oh, you've been in real danger. And I'm like, nah, he liked them really lean, and I'm pretty well marbled. I think I was good.
You could have been a lampshade, dude.
Man, look, you don't know how them brains work. He was buying you a drink, brother. You
100%.
He was going to eat you.
Before G was around.
Dahmer's thing was when you went to his house, he had a hard time with the idea of you leaving.
Yes.
So you did it.
Who has
Except
seen the film?
through the toilet.
Chuck, have you seen the film?
I have not seen it, but now I have to go find it.
I
All
think
jokes aside, though,
it's streaming.
That is a
I have
horrifying
to go find it.
experience.
Yeah.
100%. You're totally. Are you kidding me? Like, I don't know if you know the bartender to this day because it's been many
I
years.
don't. I haven't seen him.
Chuck, I'm
That
glad
was
you're here with
25
us.
That's somebody I would give a
30
hug.
years ago.
Yeah, that's
Like,
somebody
hey.
I would be sending Christmas cards to every year.
I'd be like, we can buy you a drink.
Yeah, right,
Dude. Like,
right.
fuck.
He saved your ass, dude.
100%. Are you
Literally.
kidding me?
Literally.
You should write a story called My Drink with Dahmer.
Yes.
Speaking of
Someday I'll write a
National Bartenders Day, thank
Danny,
you,
that's a good
bartender.
idea. Good fucking idea, Danny.
So anybody who's still watching, we got Susanna, Alexa, and Brian. They have passed together. They were following the band and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, the three of us had a home together. That it was a really odd relationship. They made a movie about it. It's starring no, I'm just kidding.
Witches of Eastwick.
Oh, that happened.
They should.
Both Susanna and Alexa were were girlfriends or dating members of the band
Banging.
that I was in at the time. So not the same one. Like Susanna had hers and Alexa had hers. And that's how they came into my life. I got to know them both. And Susanna's house is where everybody would crash and practice and swim in her pool and hang out. And Alexa was the one who made everybody fucking laugh. And it was a blast. It was an absolute blast. One of the highlights of my life, period, was being in Columbus and hanging out with y'all, man, while we were starting this band that took me to point A to point now. And seeing Alexa right now, Susanna earlier in the week when she asked me about doing this thing was amazing. Seeing Alexa
21st
today
birthday.
flooded it all back. It's just incredible. If anything,
Yeah, that's
thank
what I told
you.
Susanna.
What'd you tell me?
I'm glad you guys came on the show. I really am.
Yeah,
Real quick, if I may.
I appreciate this reunion.
Real
Go
quick,
ahead.
if I may.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
The Circle.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that real quick since you're talking about privacy invasions and such. Susanna, you got any? There you go.
Yeah. I watched that today.
Not a
Oh
fan.
shit! She watched it. What are your
I
thoughts?
watched it today. Well, we talked about Alexa earlier, and this movie takes it a little bit further than Alexa. She actually has to wear a camera and shares her life 24/7 with everybody, and everybody stops talking to her.
Chuck got big.
Who did that?
I don't know.
Kevin.
Anyway,
Who
Kevin.
cares? We all
Kevin
want Chuck to
does.
get big. Come on, Chuck, get big, man. Let's see how many Tom Hanks fucking films we can reference other than that shitty one that he was just in there, The Circle.
Oh, I haven't seen it, but I heard it was just.
It's the single Tom Hanks
Who
dud.
keeps doing that?
I don't know. I'm not doing it.
This is Chuck Cam, man. I think you can get a lot of YouTuber subscriptions from this, man. I think there's something there. I think there's
A
something
drink,
there.
the offer of a drink with Dahmer. Yeah, we need
Yeah.
Up on,
Yeah, are you kidding me? It's like a lottery ticket.